Fighting government. Oh my God, is that something we can do? Absolutely. Sometimes the government's crazy. And if you haven't noticed, a lot of times the nations of the world promote politicians who are not very intelligent. Why? Because the powers that be behind the scenes thereby can control them and manipulate them like little puppets on a string. But nonetheless, here's a situation for you. When I was going to France with my daughter and I wanted my fiance to join us, we applied for a visa for her at the embassy in Manila in the Philippines. And not only did they deny her application, even though I fully committed to finance it all and take care of it, they thereafter got bitter when I filed a appeal with the government in France, with the deputy director of foreign affairs and visas, and they got bitter and they kept her passport from the Philippines in Manila, though she lived in Cebu, an island south far away, and they refused to send her passport back to her, and were trying to say, oh, you can come to Manila and get your passport anytime you're ready to retrieve it. So for many months this went on, and I had to file complaints and letters, and eventually I even went to the United Nations and the International Tribunal and the government in The Hague in Belgium to get her passport back. So fighting government is something you have to do. Even people who are real estate developers or business owners, realtors, they understand sometimes when you're trying to develop a property, you have to get it rezoned and get permission from the government to build. Sometimes you have to pull a permit. My father's a building contractor. He built homes before he got into real estate appraising. And many times he would send me down to the office in Orlando, to the government offices, to file documents, to retrieve documents, to pursue permits, talk to bureaucrats who are not very nice, many times very grumpy, and go through those legal nuances and jump through the bureaucratic hoops that needed to be taken care of. But then sometimes you have to appeal certain processes. I've appealed in different counties regarding assessments of my property to lower the income tax or to get the value reassessed, and all of these different things as it pertains to writing letters. I've earned 4 master's degrees, one of which is in international law, another in global affairs from NYU, traveled to 90 nations, lived in China, India, Africa, Latin America, Europe, Asia, all over the world. And I understand the governmental nuances and challenges that business owners and entrepreneurs and individual citizens face, even getting married. I had to go through a lengthy 4 or 5 week process to accumulate and gather the right documents to ensure they were sealed and stamped and signed by the right people before they were filed, and then wait for another series of documents to be released, and then take them over to a different bureaucratic government office or agency and file them again and make sure they had all the copies that they needed. It's a overwhelming, very intense, tedious process that requires a very extensive focus and attention to detail. Otherwise, you will be overwhelmed and you will not succeed. But when fighting government agencies and bureaucrats who think they know it all and overstepping and overriding their policies and making exceptions for externalities beyond your control or specific conditions and unique situations, you need to know how to write letters very, very well. And I enjoy doing so. I enjoy fighting the government because I'm a bit of a rebel. I'm from the United States, and our country was formed by rebels that left Europe and wanted to find freedom. But nonetheless, I do so foundationally with a great level of respect, and at the same time, learning how to communicate and navigate those nuances, because I'm somebody who's written 100 books, and I speak for motivational speaking and inspirational speaking and talks and church preaching around the world, and dealing with the spiritual and the natural and even the governmental and the political arenas. And I enjoy it. I do it well. And if you need some assistance in that regard, fighting the government, I would be happy to be on your side and serve you and see how I can help you achieve and accomplish what you're endeavoring to do. God bless you.